here we are. So my attempt is that we will have a little chat and eat while I have the time to do it. And I've never done this before. We'll see what happens. What's the point? The point is, I feel like the conversation of community in dance is really important, and I want to know where other people are at and what kind of community they want to build. So yeah, let's go on this journey together. I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to talk and hopefully eat, and hopefully that's not too distracting. But yeah, if you're a dancer and you're interested in the topic of community and how we connect to one another as humans and what that looks like just for humans in general, but also like if it's different as a dancer, what we can do to make communities more ideal for everybody that's participating in them, you can join us in Dance Hub, an online community, and the link will be in the description of this video. But the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I've participated in a lot of different dance communities growing up and starting dance at the age of 9. I did everything from recreational, you're definitely going to hear me eating. I did everything from recreational dance to pre-professional dance in a high school setting, and undergraduate dance in college, graduate dance for a master's degree program, and after that was a part of a community at the Skool for the professional division program for dance. So I've been in a variety of different communities, and then during the pandemic, online intensives and workshops, and being a part of the Gibney Company Moving Toward Justice online workshop. That for me was like a real example of the type of community that I wanted to be a part of, and the fact that we did that online was amazing to me. The fact that our facilitator, Amy Miller, created such a welcoming space for everybody, and the entire thing, it was several months for the workshop and our cohort, and the fact that it was all virtual, and I still felt so welcomed and so heard and so validated, and I learned so much during that time. And now here we are 3-4 years later, and I'm thinking again about the idea of community and what that looks like in dance and in the arts, just in general. And in Dance Hub, we currently have about 60 members, including myself. Dancers, teachers, choreographers, many different kinds of artists. My hope is that as a group we can continue to think about dance and community and what it looks like to create the ideal dance community. And I know that's not something we'll ever attain, but how can we create a community that is more more attractive to many different kinds of people, many different people from different backgrounds? How can we come together and listen to and see one another and build something that's more meaningful than ourselves, almost a movement of sorts? I know everybody uses the word movement now, but really it is such a powerful thing. I did my thesis research on movements for social change. Movements of protest, and what it means when people come together and activate toward a particular goal. And so I feel like this topic of conversation is on my heart in many ways. I love creativity and collaboration, and now community is also just like the byproduct of people coming together, connecting, wanting to build something, and being intentional about it, listening to one another, working together. So I'm curious, if you're a dancer, what has been your experience with community in the past, and what kind of residue did that leave on you, with you, for you? What did you take from that you really enjoyed? If you've been a part of a community that you really just were glad to be involved in every day or whatever amount of time you were in it, and if it's something that left you feeling in a way you didn't want to carry throughout life. I'm curious to know, like, the different types of communities that you've been in and how they've left you feeling. So if you feel like it, leave a little message in the comments, and we can keep this conversation going. But when I started Dance Hub, this community is based on the Skool platform. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but yeah, it's just kind of been the perfect place in my mind to host a community. If you're interested in building an online community, I do also have a referral link that I will throw in the description as well. But Skool to me has been like a wonderful place that's free from like outside advertisement and outside noise, and you can really create an intentional space around a topic that you love. So for me, that's dance. And I keep saying I feel, but yeah, in starting Dance Hub and listening to the first 30 members or so, I did a survey of the answers people gave to the questions that I asked when they came in about what did they want to learn this month in particular, and what did their ideal community look like. And then I analyzed the data from the survey and just determined like what the majority described as their ideal community and what words really stuck for us. And the words that stood out the most were, I can't remember the specific order, but there are 3, and I think they're in this order. Support, collaboration, and is it inclusion? Yeah, I think that's what people wanted most. An environment that was supportive, collaborative, and inclusive of everyone. And so I call that our Dance Hub IDC, our ideal dance community, and the type of place that we want to build. A community that is here for everyone, supportive, laying the groundwork or holding up a foundation where people can feel like they're part of this interconnected web, they're part of this network, they're able to grow and place roots and feel like they have support. And then the second one is collaboration. People wanted to feel like they could be in this and doing things with other people, that we can give and that we can gain, that we can throw in what we have and that we can maybe get something back in return or create something together. And then people also wanted a place where they could feel included, or where they can feel like they're coming into the circle and that people are seeing them and that they're part of something bigger than themselves. So this is everything to me. As I mentioned, have been a part of so many different dance communities, and I felt a variety of different ways in them. The times that I struggled the most were in places where I think I began to grow, to evolve, to have different values, and as I changed, sometimes when thinking about like community as a container, I think of it as a container that has a lot of holes in it, that allows you to be yourself as you continue to grow and develop, and that this community is still a place that is supportive of you and supportive of your values and listening and affirming, and that this community grows with all of the people that are within it, that we all have a chance to help one another move forward to a place where we might transform, things might be revealed to us, we might have greater understanding, and we all push and we pull against and with one another to build each other up. And it's not just a container for our own desires, but it's a place where, in my ideal community, and every community is different and has a different purpose, but the one that I imagine is a place where we can listen to one another. And even in a dance classroom, like, it's not just one person talking to the class and us listening. It's a conversation. And as I teach, I need to do better about, I'm still like learning and growing, but about listening to everyone that's in the room and taking into account what you know and what you don't know. There are so many unknowns about people, and just being able to speak, share from your own experience, but also be really open and receptive that your experience isn't everyone else's experience, and other people have things to share that you might not even know, unless you ask, or unless you make the space feel accessible where people can voice their opinions and we can learn from one another. So that's my 2 cents. That's my little bit that I wanted to talk about community. I don't even know where we're at. I'm going to check real quick. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to check real quick and see if my phone is still recording. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're still recording. This is great. And I've eaten a little bit of food and it hasn't even been 15 minutes yet. So yeah, I'm really inspired. I've always been inspired by the people that I work with. People that, for me, like, as someone who moves, I see people move and I'm like, oh, that's amazing. And then I see that human in other aspects of life, and just to know, like, the way that people can express themselves through art and know them as people and how they live life, like, it's just so inspiring. And so to be in a room or to be in a virtual space with people that are sharing in this great big vision, that we'll just begin to listen more and hear each other and see each other and find out what we need and how we can help each other attain those goals, it's just like really exciting. So yeah, if you're coming in and you're just seeing this random video and you're not a dancer, I encourage you to consider, like, what types of community are you a part of, and what are you gaining and what are you giving? I've been thinking about that even more. Like, what do you give to the space that you come into every day? And not because it's like your responsibility to give something. I think we really need to be, we need to be protective of our space, our peace, our emotions, our resources, and our time. But also, you have something to give to every space you walk into, even if it's just the energy that you bring into the room. So I think thinking more and more that we can be not only consumers, but we can also be contributors. And we do that whether we're thinking about it or not. When we walk into a space, we contribute something, even if it's just like oozing off of our being. We're radiating this energy, and I like to remind myself, what kind of energy do I want to bring to a space? So what can we give to the communities that we're part of, dancers or not? And then, what can we gain? I think there's this concept of just like reciprocity and mutuality, and gain sometimes has like this negative connotation of taking advantage or manipulation, but I think of gaining as adding to ourselves, and I think it can be done in a way that's full of care, full of kindness, and at the same time there is that question of what's in it for me. I think a lot of people ask that, especially now. We're just so flooded with like so much in the world, like people wanting to take our time, take our money, take our everything, every resource we could have. And so we have to kind of, I think we naturally start to think, like, is someone out to get me? Is this something I need to be concerned about? But sometimes when we let down our guard and our barriers, and just think about what you have to give. And for me also, what do I have to give? What do I have to gain from this situation? And I think there's so much to give and gain from being a part of a community full of purpose. And if you don't have that and you're not experiencing it, I want to talk about it in the comments. I want to talk about how we can create more spaces, see more spaces, how we can reorient more spaces to be ones in which people feel welcome. And if you have any tips on how to do that, I would love to hear about them so I can continue to grow and to facilitate more welcoming spaces for community. Again, if you're a dancer and you want to join us in this goal, my personal goal, join us in Dance Hub. The link will be in the description at skool.com/dance hub. And we also have a group right now. I don't know if it'll last forever, but we also have a group for studio owners who are looking to create this kind of online community space for your dance studio family. I think that's about it, because I kind of need to finish my food and I can't focus on two things. But thank you so much if you've watched this far and spent a little bit of your lunchtime, afternoon, whatever time it is for you. Until next time.